Our Explorers are gearing up for their final few games of the season before some go to playoffs. Hello, I'm Gia Lancy.
We're talking about playoffs? And I'm Tyler Small. We'll give you just about every team's current playoff status, and some teams fight for their postseason berth. You're watching LaSalle TV's home for Explorer Athletics, SportsLine.
Welcome to SportsLine. On this edition of On the Sideline, I sat down with field hockey's starting forward, Bo Baker.
And later, we'll see some of the highlights from this year's Hoops Madness.
But first, let's take a look at our SportsLine top 3.
This might be a long episode. Number 1, the LaSalle women's soccer team swept the Atlantic 10 Weekly Awards after a 2-0 week with wins over George Mason and Davidson. Redshirt senior Macy Bauer was named Offensive Player of the Week. Junior Claudia Jenkins earned Defensive Player of the Week, and freshman Naya Vialva claimed Rookie of the Week. Bauer scored in both games this past week, including a game-winning goal against Davidson with 58 seconds remaining in regulation. Jenkins recorded a pair of shutouts to push her total to 5 on the season, as she made 7 saves collectively. For both Bauer and Jenkins, this is their second time receiving this award. Vialva assisted on both of Bauer's goals for the first 2 assists in their rookie's career, while playing stellar defense in a route to blank sheet for Jenkins.
Number 2 comes from running in from the men's cross-country team as freshman Alex Sandras earned Atlantic 10 Rookie of the Week. His performance at the Princeton Invitational had a rough start as he was in the 135th at the first mile marker, but he worked his way to 72nd after the 3rd mile marker before finally breaking through the top 50 to finish 48th. Sandras finished 3rd among Explorers. We will have more Sandras and cross-country team later in the recaps.
And number 3, on October 14th, it was announced that freshman Rachel Hess earned A10 Rookie of the Week honors. It was her second time receiving the award this year. She earned the honor after a 1-1 week from the volleyball team, where she put up 51 digs and 4 aces. Her play helped LaSalle beat rival Villanova in a match that went into 5 sets. A week later, teammate Marissa Gusti won the award as co-recipient. She tallied 24 kills and 11 blocks while getting career highs in both categories during a 5-set loss against A10 rival George Washington. She earned 11 kills on 38% kill rate in a win against George Mason.
Those are our top stories from last week. Now let's see how our teams fared. The women's soccer team has been busy this past week with 3 games and 2 more wins under their belt. With their regular season starting to come to an end, a playoff spot is now up for grabs. Last Sunday, the Blue and Gold was up against conference-leading St. Louis, who blew past LaSalle 4-1. However, standout goalkeeper Claudia Jenkins recorded a soaring 10 saves for the 16 shots taken on net. Next up, the women played George Mason. Sophomore Katie Hoffman and redshirt senior Macy Bauer both recorded goals to put LaSalle on top in a win of 2-0. Jenkins also recorded her 4th shutout of the season. On Sunday, the Blue and Gold were up against Davidson in a very close match. The game went scoreless in a huge defensive battle against Macy Bauer. Once again pulled through and scored off of a dish from freshman Naya Vialva with just 58 seconds left in regulation time, proving LaSalle to be victorious in the match and starting a winning streak for the Explorers just in time for playoff season.
The men's soccer team picked up 2 losses and a win over the last 2 weeks. The Explorers were first shut out on their home turf on October 12th as they dropped to A10 conference leader St. Louis 2-0. The Billikens landed shots in the 22nd and 67th minute and silenced the Explorers offense with a shutout. Men's soccer returned to McCarthy Stadium on October 15th to take on Soccer 6 rival Villanova, and the Explorers found themselves defeated once again as Wildcats dominated 2-1. LaSalle was the first to score as freshman Isaac Sedin put up the Explorers on the scoreboard, but a Nova penalty kick shortly after locked the game at a tie. With less than 3 minutes remaining in regular play, the Wildcats took a wide-open shot to the Explorers' goal to carry themselves to victory. LaSalle finally found success on October 23rd on the road against George Mason, shutting out the Patriots 2-0. It was sophomore sweep for the blue and gold as Sam DeCencio and Omari Cotterell found the back of the net for men's soccer's first victory since October 5th.
Field hockey is on a 3-game losing streak in the past 2 weeks. On a positive note, the Explorers hosted the Red Flash. The Explorers dominated offensively in the first half, with LaSalle outshooting St. Francis 16-1. However, they couldn't find the back of the net. The Red Flash came out with a bang after intermission, scoring on their only 2 shots of the game. LaSalle responded shortly after with a goal by senior Chloe Lucky with help from assist leader senior Amanda Chapin. Then freshman Kelsey Jones scored the equalizer in the 53rd minute, followed by freshman Sammy Hackman to bring home the win for the Explorers. A few days later, they took on City 6 rival Villanova. Early in the second quarter, the Wildcats scored their first goal. The equalizer came in the 21st minute when Queen of Assists Amanda Chapin set up Lucky again. Villanova responded quickly with another goal to take back the lead. After halftime, the senior duo responded with Chapin getting another assist for Lucky. Hackman scored another to cut the deficit to 1. Nova scoring 4 more times resulted in a 8-3 loss for LaSalle. Then the Explorers traveled to Richmond. The Explorers were able to gain an early lead. They received a penalty corner, and off the second opportunity, freshman Bo Baker was able to find the back of the net for the 4th time this season. The blue and gold kept the lead until the Spiders replied by scoring twice with a span of a minute before half, going into the second half. Redshirt sophomore goalie Cassie Kincaid saved 9 shots in the second half to keep the match close. Unfortunately, LaSalle fell 3-1. Next up was VCU. The Rams scored in the 5th minute and then 5 more times throughout the game. The blue and gold could not find the back of the net as they fell 5-0.
The LaSalle women's volleyball team had a busy mid-semester break with 5 games. The Explorers first faced Duquesne, where they took the first 2 sets, hoping for a victory in the next set. Duquesne sparked momentum and ultimately took the last 3 sets, winning the series 3-2. Senior Catherine Wood and junior Samantha Graver earned double-doubles with 52 assists and 12 digs for Wood and 19 kills and 21 digs for Graver. LaSalle then hosted Big 5 rival Villanova as they took their match into 5 sets again. An attack error and a kill by Graver sealed an amazing victory, and Graver and Wood recorded their second double-double in a row. The Explorers then went on to take on George Washington, where they went into 5 sets once again, but could not keep up with the Colonials as they dropped that match. Their final game of the stretch was against George Mason, where they went into 4 sets and won the match 3-1.
In the Princeton Invitational on October 19th. Starting with the men, they beat out 6 other A10 teams as they placed 3rd overall in a field of 24 teams. Junior Luke Jakuzierkowski led the way with an 8th place finish as sophomore Ibrahim Kadir and Anthony Hawthorne finished 20th and 21st respectively. All 3 runners finished with a sub-25 time as freshman Alexandris finished 48th with a time just 5 seconds over 25 minutes. The last Explorers went to finish with sophomore Ryan James in 57th place. LaSalle's final team score was 133, placing them ahead of A10 schools Fordham, UMass, George Mason, Davidson, Duquesne, and George Washington.
Moving on to the women's side, a trio of Mancini sisters helped carry the team to a 3rd place finish. Senior Grace Mancini placed 5th out of 207 runners, finishing us over 21 minutes. Next up was Elle Mancini in 8th place, just 10 seconds slower than her sister. The 3rd Mancini to finish in the top 20 was Liz Mancini at 17th place. Other LaSalle finishers were junior Lexi Ciortino, Alana Paulette, freshman Jakira Lufrano, and Amy Conboy. LaSalle finished 2nd among 5 A10 competitors, just 3 points behind George Washington.
The fall season has come to a close for the LaSalle women's golf team. They concluded at the Lehigh Invitational on October 21st and 22nd. The Explorers teed off at Saucon Valley Country Club in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. After day 1, LaSalle sat at 9th out of 10 schools. Leading the Explorers was junior Franca Hurtado with a 12 over par. Not far behind was senior Maribel Dacklin with an A14 over par. On day 2, Dacklin improved 3 strokes to top of the LaSalle team. Hurtado dropped a bit, adding 4 strokes to her total. The event ended with St. John's claiming the victory, and the Explorers stuck at 9th overall.
The men's golf team competed in the Elon Phoenix Invitational on October 14th and 15th. Sophomore Parker Wine led the Explorers through day 1 of the invite, shooting even. He was LaSalle's top finisher at 26th in the field of 97 golfers. Junior Ron Fischang shot 2 over, while freshman Carson Rush and junior David Kim shot 6 and 7 over par respectively. On day 2 of the event, LaSalle dropped in the standings with Parker Wine going to 44th overall. Fischang and Kim finished tied at 8 over par, and the Explorers ultimately finished last at 16th on the leaderboard.
The Explorers earned their first D1 victory with a win over Navy. Senior Luke Wacher led the Explorers with 6 goals while freshman Adriano Zunino had a career-high 9 saves in the 10-8 win. On October 19th and 20th, LaSalle competed in the Harvard Invitation. Unfortunately, they were not able to get a win in any of the 4 games they played on Saturday. Water polo got to a horrendous start, only mustering up 2 goals in a 21-2 defeat to St. Francis. Their second game was more competitive, even in a loss to Brown, 12-9. Junior Daniel Domator was the only positive sign for the Explorers, scoring a total of 4 goals on Saturday, which included a hat trick against Brown. Sunday proved to be even more stressful for the Explorers, scoring 4 goals apiece in both games. Against Pomona Pitzer, LaSalle did not have a play score multiple goals, but senior Joey DeFusco had 2 assists. Against Harvard, Cole Strawson led LaSalle with a multiple goal game. That's all we have for recaps, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we sit down with field hockey's Bo Baker. Stay tuned.
According to the Mayo Clinic, exercising has stress-busting benefits by bumping up your endorphins and improving your mood.
Welcome back. Earlier this week, I got to sit down with field hockey forward Bo Baker. Take a look. On this week's edition of On the Sideline, we're talking field hockey, and sitting down with me today, we have Bo Baker. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
You came all the way to LaSalle from Germany. What brought you to the States, specifically LaSalle?
So I always wanted to do a year abroad during high school, but I just never did that because I was too young, and like in my final years, I didn't want to go because I didn't want to miss out on school. So like last year, I don't know, like this one door closed of me going to med school, and I thought, okay, what am I going to do now? So I just took this random test, and they said I would be like a good fit for studying here in America as a student athlete. So I just did the whole process, and then like months later, I found LaSalle, or LaSalle asked me, and I just had a good click with our coach, Kelly and Michaela, and that's basically how I came here. And my dad also went to the States when he was younger, so I kind of wanted to follow him in his footsteps. So.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So in Germany, you played competitively, and you were even promoted to the highest youth league in Rhineland. So how does that league translate to Division I play?
So to be honest, like the youth league is not, we only have 2 youth leagues. So it's not as hard to get into that, but
Okay.
when you're a senior, like when you're in the women's team, there's like a huge difference. So I think Division I, it depends on where you are, because if you're in the upper, I don't know, 25, I would guess you're in like our highest league, maybe second highest league, and then once you go down in the leagues you have back home. So the youth league is not a good measurement, I would say.
Okay.
But I think it was definitely a good achievement.
So what's the biggest difference between the 2 leagues?
In the youth, I think more technical skills and like more strategic stuff. And I think that the lower league is just more for kids that like have fun at playing field hockey. Of course, I do have fun, but it's just more competitive.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so right now you're one of the leading scorers on the team. So how does it feel to be a freshman and being so successful this season this far?
It's crazy because I kind of was in like this down moment because like there was like a lot of stuff going on, being a freshman, being away from home.
Definitely.
Like, of course, probably some like background stuff. Like everyone
Right,
has
right.
its plate.
Yeah, and like
you know?
definitely adjusting
Yeah.
to being in
And-
a different country
Yeah.
and college, of course.
Yeah. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm like surprised, like, but sometimes I think I can do even better, you know?
Okay.
And I want to be better, and I want to like make my team proud, like my coaches proud. So I don't know. I just aiming for more.
Great, great. Well, good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
So you are a student athlete. So what's
Yeah.
your major here at LaSalle?
Biology. I'm on the pre-med track.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I know you're just a freshman, but do you have any plans after graduation?
Yeah. So I want to go back to Europe. I want to finish med school there, or like start med school. It's like a different system back home.
Okay.
Because money-wise, like I don't want to do that here because I cannot be a student athlete, or I think there's no, what do you call it? Like no
Like
scholarships,
offering-
offerings for me personally for
Okay.
grad school. So that's why I want to go back home, and I think it's just a good experience for me to be here these next 3.5 years.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah.
And so do you think you'll continue playing field hockey, or do you think after the 4 years here at LaSalle that'll be over?
No, I'm definitely going to play. I don't know how competitive I want it to be, because
Right.
of course I'm going to study medicine, hopefully.
Okay.
And that's like very intense on itself, but I definitely want it to be like a little competitive.
Right,
Because I'm just a competitive person
Yeah.
itself. So
For sure. So this season, you guys are on a 3-game losing streak right
Yeah.
now. What are you thinking for the rest of the season?
yeah, so we have 3 games left, 2 A10 games. This past weekend's been hard, like tough on us. I think we all want to make A10s. Like that's definitely there, but it's just some things in it. I don't know. We don't know what. It's yeah.
Yeah, so you just got to bounce back. And
Yeah,
you
we
guys
got
are
to
just trying
bounce
to
back.
Figure that out.
Yeah, and we're gonna fight back, and we still have a chance of going to the A10s and making it, but we just have to like get our feet back under and then
Yeah.
get
sure.
back up from the ground.
Well, I believe in you guys.
Yeah.
So just as we're wrapping up here, I wanted to talk a little bit about Europe. So what are some things you miss in Europe, like food, the culture, anything?
So in Europe, of course, I miss my friends and my family. I do miss good bread. Oh my God.
You don't think bread's good here?
We have very, very good bread back
Okay.
home, and like good. Okay, you also have good pastries, but
Okay,
like
thank
we have
you.
exquisite pastries like France right around the corner,
Oh, that's
and
true.
then like, so I'm actually Dutch,
Okay.
so we have chocolate sprinkles, but we have like different kinds and like very good ones. We have these very thick, large ones. They're so good. That's
You
one
have
thing.
to, okay, are you going home for a winter break?
Yeah.
All right, well, you're going to have to bring some to SportsLine
Yeah.
so that we can
Do
try that,
that.
because that sounds
They're
delicious.
so good. Something else? No, actually, probably a lot, but
Too much to
yeah,
name.
too
but-
much to name.
Well, sounds good. Good luck the rest of the
Thank
season,
you.
and thanks for sitting down with us.
Thank you.
Back to the desk.
LaSalle held Hoops Madness on October 10th to get the school hyped for this upcoming basketball season. We got an inside scoop for the festivities. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Gia Lancey.
And I'm Tyler Small, and welcome to 2019-2020 Hoops Madness.
We're preparing for the men's and women's upcoming season. So, what are your predictions for this season, and who are you looking forward to the most?
I'm definitely predicting that we'll do a lot better this season. I'm expecting great things from Shaq, DB, all of those guys. They're a little bit older now. They know what they're doing. They're experienced and they're battle tested, so and they're more set in their roles. I'm definitely ready to see what they have in store for us this season. I think it's going to be great.
Obviously there for all the games. What do you expect to see this upcoming 2019-2020 season?
Well, just excitement. And from what I understand, the guys have a lot of energy and a lot of tenacity. And you know, Ashley Howard's personality is a bulldog. He's aggressive. He's got the guys pumped up. He's got everybody motivated. The alumni that I'm talking to can't wait to see what we're going to put on the floor. You know, as far as basketball goes, you know, that's going to evolve over the course of the season, but I know it's going to be fun. And we're at the school and at the basketball program, we are right on the cusp of major stuff happening on a big picture and right here in this arena as well. So I'm pumped every year. I'm really pumped this year.
So this season, what are you looking forward to the most?
Honestly, just competing in every game and giving all we got in every game with the new team and new people that we've acquired over this year.
Mm-hmm. So, like, out of the new people, who do you think are going to be the strongest?
Honestly, I feel like they all got potential, but the main two that kind of stand out to me so far is like Jordan and Claire. But like I said, they all showed me that they all have potential.
Okay.
I just want us to be the hardest playing team and the most together team that we can be. I never want our LaSalle alumni fans, students to come and watch us play and not feel like we have a team that's playing hard and playing together. So we're trying to create a brotherhood amongst our program where these guys love playing for each other and love representing our great university. So I hope that that's what we represent every time we step on the floor.
In the A10, what are you looking forward to most this upcoming season? Oh, some basketball? Yeah. Oh. Very nice. Some aggression, I like it.
Them to win. I mean, we've been waiting for a championship. We've been waiting for them to do well. Now's the time. Ash Howard and team, step up. We're ready. Explorers are ready.
That's all we have here at Hoops Madness.
Let's see what we have back at the desk. As the fall season winds down, our sports teams are making their final playoff pushes. Starting with volleyball, they currently hold the final playoff spot, sitting at 6th seed in the A10, but are tied with Duquesne at 3 and 4. In conference play, they have 7 games left in the schedule, including a match against Duquesne as their final game of the regular season.
Moving on to soccer. The men's teams are the 7th seed, but are in a 4-way tie with 9 points in conference play, including the 6th seed Duquesne. They have 2 games left in the regular season against UMass and St. Bonaventure.
The women's soccer team sits at 4th seed with 15 points, but only 1 point separates them from 5th seed at 14. They have 1 game left before the playoffs against Dayton.
Finally, field hockey currently sits outside of the playoffs at 6th in the standings. In order to make it into the 4-team playoff, they would have to win out with 3 games left on the schedule, including a crucial game against current 4-seed UMass.
Before Explorers Report, let's highlight some of the other games going on this week. On Friday, rowing travels to New Jersey to compete in the Princeton Chase, while field hockey takes on St. Joe's on Halloween night. Women's soccer stays home to face Dayton for their senior day.
There's plenty of LaSalle sports action this upcoming week, So let us welcome Siobhan for this week's Explorer Report.
Saturday, October 26th, the men's soccer team will be hosting the University of Massachusetts Minutemen. The Minutemen are coming into this game with a 5-10 record, along with a 1-5 record in the A10. The Minutemen have struggled away from home, only winning 3 of their last 8 road games. Despite this record, the Explorers will be facing a strong attacking midfield, along with their red-hot Graham Brenner, who is an unlikely candidate for leading goal scorer as a center back, having scored 5 goals coming into this game. Despite the UMass playing some solid defense, forwards like Ike Hollinger, Connor Sweeney, and Nigel Buckley will be able to take advantage of a recent change in formation to secure a win for the Explorers. With an average of 1.27 goals per game, compared to UMass's 1 goal per game, it's looking like the offenses will be the focus of this face-off. If the Explorers can put forward a convincing counterattack, along with holding a strong defensive wall, we should be in for an exciting matchup this weekend. The game will take place at 7 this Saturday at McCarthy Stadium, so make sure to show out, be loud, and support the team.
So I'm thinking for the men's soccer team, it's a must-win to make it to playoffs right here. And most of the teams that are looking into the playoff future right now are bubble teams, so they're going to be either in or out. So
Yeah, but I really think that this UMass team should be very easy to beat. They've scored 2 goals in their last 9 games. So I think it's going to be huge for Werner Mora, whoever gets to start, but we'll see what LaSalle can do at home.
Well, I'm thinking LaSalle's going to win 4-3. I'm pretty positive.
I think they're going to go 10 games without a goal. 2-0, LaSalle wins in a shutout.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be that easy, but let's see what Siobhan thinks.
I'm going to pick the Explorers to win this game 3-1.
Well, that just about wraps it up for us this week. If you can't make it out to see the Explorer Report, be sure to tune in next week for our coverage. Keep up with this weekend's other sporting events by visiting goexplorers.com or check out this week's edition of The Collegian.
Make sure to tune in next week as we have a very special episode as men's basketball head coach Ashley Howard comes into studio. Also, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV and on Twitter and Instagram at SportsLineLTV. We welcome you to send your thoughts and suggestions there.
For Siobhan and our entire SportsLine team, I'm Gia Lancey.
And I'm Tyler Small. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you at the game.